speaking of which, where else would you take Paul Martin if it was your tour?
I take him to Shepherd, like there's different Ontario, not just Ontario housing, just all along Jane. All along Jane, if you notice, compared to every street in all of Toronto, Jane is the only place where most, like, I don't want to say the most poverty, but it's the most, like, the most welfare recipient, the most poorest people live on Jane, you know what I'm saying? So what we need to do is we need to direct, like, at those people, because that's who it's going to be affected the most.
No surrender, no retreat.
Area residents tell me that the Crips control the north side of Jane and Finch, but the Bloods control the south side. And they're wondering when police are going to come and clean up the other end of the neighborhood.
Every day is danger. Best friends become strangers. Nowadays your own cuz can blaze ya. Niggas see what blocks and truck killers on the daily. Smoke condensate, Bailey's, teens having babies. I smell the envy. The rookies out there, they smoke cookie. They coming on the block later trying to book me. I'm from a place that's cold-hearted, plus it's well-guarded. Around here you find T.O.'s most wanted. The strip where I'm from, it has MTHA. From the Ville, from the Gators to the villainous stays. If you don't know the hoods, them I'm talking about. Cocksuckers, listen up, I'm sure you'll figure it out. I'm talking about north and south, but it's not region. Round here you're left not breathing, have internal bleedings. The ambulance will pick you up, the hood will see you leaving. This is the shit that we see each and every season. What is the meaning? I see it through your evil demons. My inner mind's eye will not stop the sling from squeezing. We right between Western Road and the street called Kill. The hood start nearby Bloor, but the end at Steel. I'm from Jane. The slums, the guns, the drugs, the hatred, the love. I'm from Jane. The Crips, the Bloods, the Gators, the thugs, the slugs. I'm from Jane. The street that raised me from a young baby, and as you see it made me. I'm from Jane. That's down through the Black Creek, Stills Avenue, all the way back to Bull Street. I thought Black, I told you where I was from. He said his second chorus, second name, the Chicheway slums. I'm Jane Street to the death, conceived in the fall stuff projects. That means I was destined to rep. I've earned my respect through North and South vets. But you can get wet in a blink of a sec. That's the third rule we learn here in the projects. My block's between Walnut Ave and Falstaff. When the shots blast, you know the aftermath. Snitches around your way, they call emergency tasks. Thinking that the problem is fixed between Finch and Chitch. On the Jane Strip, you're either blood or Crip. Borderline is Wilson, Southside is pure buildings. Gang affiliation is the religion. They lock you down in divisions. Have you go through the court system and put charges on you like resisting. Throw up your set. I once was a cadet, now a church king that's a full-fledged vet. Raised in North York in Metro Housing Projects. Projects, nigga. Projects. From Jane. The slums, the guns, the drugs, the hatred, the love. I'm from Jane. The Crips, the Bloods, the Gators, the thugs, the slugs. I'm from Jane. The street that raised me from a young baby, and as you see it made me. I'm from Jane. That's down through the Black Creek, Stills Avenue. Let me break it down for these niggas who don't know, man. Black Edgley Village, Shoreham to Driftwood. We hit south of Finch, you end up in York Woods. I'm talking about the lane. The other project on the main is known as Connection on the north side of Jane. But Shepherd Avenue West, townhouses for days. The way it's designed, it's the project maze. But what about the block right beside Sheridan Mall? I'm not talking about the staff, I'm talking about Chalk Farm. As you pass Wilson, Metro Housing Buildings. Big up to my dogs from there, even the ones in prison. And as you pass Lawrence West Avenue or John Best, that's connected to the Chicheway housing complex. You go over the bridge, that's called Dominion. The next intersection on Jane Strip is West End, West End. Emmett Ave, inmates of Alcatraz, holding it down from Western Road to Walnut Ave. Jane Street, Graves Beat, no surrender, no retreat. Blast first, think later, that's the code of the street. I'm from Jane Street. The slums, the guns, the drugs, the hatred, the love. I'm from Jane. The Crips, the Bloods, the Gators, the thugs, the slugs. I'm from Jane. The street that raised me from a young baby, and as you see it made me. I'm from Jane. That's down through the Black Creek, Stills Avenue, all the way back to Bull Street. I'm from Jane. The slums, the guns, the drugs, the hatred, the love. I'm from Jane. The Crips, the Bloods, the Gators, the thugs, the slugs. I'm from Jane. The street that raised me from a young baby, and as you see it made me. I'm from Jane. That's down through the Black Creek, Stills Avenue, all the way back to Bull Street. I'm from Jane. Don't know. North side, Jane Street, south side, Jane Street, borderline Wilson. Don't act like you don't know what it is, man. Housing all over, man. We live this. Mega City, T-Dot shit. Project living. Street code entertainment. You know what it is, man.
A 22-year-old man was shot in the jaw around 11:30 last night Jane and Lawrence.
A man was shot dead by police and a woman was stabbed to death. It happened in a townhouse complex on Shepherd near Jane. 28th murder of the year after a man was shot to death last night near Jane and Shoreham Drive.